line.
What's the red line, though? I mean, I know we have the.
It's a red line. It's very clear. First of all, I think that the so-called Homeland Security spokesperson is a joke. It's a joke. They know better than to go down that road, and it's been made loudly and abundantly clear to the Trump administration. We're not going to be intimidated by their tactics to try to force principled opposition from not standing up to their extremism. It hasn't happened during the entirety of this failed term. It didn't happen when Donald Trump temporarily was sitting high in the immediate aftermath of the election. Do you think it's going to happen now, when he's the most unpopular president in American history after his first 100 days? Give me a break. No one's intimidated by this dude. No one. And so there are clear lines that they just dare not cross.
Wow. Interesting. 800-848-9222. Also, every day leading up to the Democratic primary, we'll have something on the New York City race for mayor. Let's begin with your telephone calls. Dominic Carter here with you. Line 1, Susie in Lynbrook. Susie, what's on your mind?
Well, good afternoon, Dominic. I just want to say thank you. I listen to you every afternoon to find out what's going on, the pulse of New York, and thank you. And we are a nation of laws, and we need to live within the laws. If we don't, we have anarchy.
You are so correct, Susie. It says here that you're a first-time caller. Is that true? To the program?
No, I talked to you about 9 months ago.
Okay. Well, it does say that. So, Susie, thank you. It's great chatting with you. And don't be a stranger. And you know what, Susie? You are correct. You need to, for all I know, you could be a Democrat, Republican, but you need to, your Democratic friends, you need to say to them that we are a nation of laws so that they can understand it and get it, because they seem to be lost in the translation of what goes on in society. Susie, thank you for the wonderful call. Line 2, Anthony in Westchester. What's on your mind, Anthony?
Hi, Dominic. This is in regards to Cuomo's run for mayor. James Comer sent a referral to Pam Bondi because Cuomo made false criminal statements to a coronavirus subcommittee. So if the Department of Justice follows up on this, hopefully it thwarts or, messes with Cuomo's mayoral campaign, and hopefully it affects him so he loses, because we don't need Cuomo in New York City.
I hear you, Anthony, but I hate to be the bearer of bad news. It's not going to impact him. First of all, they're not going to do that because it'll be seen as election interference. They may do it after he's won the Democratic nomination, but this is just the honest truth. And don't shoot the messenger, folks. I'm just telling you the way it is. I don't see anything stopping this Cuomo train, period. He is going to win the Democratic primary, and in all likelihood, he is the next mayor of New York City. Eric Adams might as well drop out now. He has no shot at all. The Republican candidate, Curtis Sliwa, we'll see what happens, but he's almost in the same boat. No shot at all. This socialist candidate, his victory will be a strong showing in the primary, but that's it. And who knows if he'll run in the general election. And let me just be very clear. When you have 4 candidates, Anthony, in the general election, I'm going to give you the final word. Anything can happen. But unless you folks get out there and vote, start learning how to say Mayor Andrew Cuomo. You have the final word, Anthony.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And Pam Bondi did seem a little bit miffed at James Comer recently when Comer claimed that Epstein files were deleted, and Pam Bondi didn't seem too happy about that. She said he's going to give him a call. But yes, but a crime is a crime. But you're right, though. Don't get your hopes up.
I mean, I hear you, Anthony, and I really wish my colleague, Mr. Sliwa, the absolute best. And everything I say publicly, he knows I've said to him privately in terms of his long shot at best campaign. But he's always argued to me privately that he sees a path where he can win this thing. So we'll see. Hopefully Mr. Sliwa will prove me wrong. We'll see. But with no experience in government, no experience running a budget, no government experience, it's just not going to happen. That's just the reality. I'm sorry about that, Anthony. Thank you for the wonderful call. Line 3, Gail in Pennsylvania. Gail, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic.
Hi, Gail.
Well, I find this Sean Diddy orgy disgusting, but there's such a thing as personal responsibility. And it seems to me that all the people involved, including the girlfriend, wife, were willing participants. And, you could have many abused people, line them up and, go to trial and accuse them of trafficking. It's not trafficking. And take some personal responsibility for agreeing to do this.
Hey, Gail, I hear you, and I'm late for a break. But let's flip the script for a second. Let's say that you're in 1,000% control of my career, and you make it clear, Dominic, you better jump when I say jump, and the only thing you better say is how high. If you say, Dominic, I'm going to pay you $1 million a year, but I want you to do these weird sexual things, and you better do it. Most people, Gail, what do you think they'll do?
I don't know, but I would not.
Okay.
You couldn't pay me $1 million. I would eat crackers.
Wow.
Rather than losing my self-respect.
I hear you, Gail. I guess I love money too much. I think that says it all. Thank you for the wonderful call. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter. Dominic's giving you one last chance.
And folks, that's the new words that you will hear. The animation when I keep saying to you over and over and over and over, when I say get to the point, get to the point. When you hear that, that means that you're about to be dropped. So that you know, just one more time so that the audience can clearly understand what that means.
Dominic's giving you one last chance.
Because with some of you, I don't know, sometimes I can engage in a conversation, but sometimes I'm looking at the clock, I'm tight on time, and you want to start the conversation this way. Well, Dominic, I want to talk about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then you start with A when I have 30 seconds left. So when we say get to the point, folks, you've got to get to the point. I'm looking at my Twitter, at my X, at Dominic TV. Michael M. just got me good here. Obviously, he was paying attention early this morning, midnight to 3 a.m. show, when I talked about how Wonderama, when I was a kid contestant on Wonderama, how it led to, with the Police Athletic League, growing up in the Bronx, it led to my career that I have now. And Michael M. says, more Dom, the better. 3 of 12, he rocks the bells. Oh, that's nice of you, Michael. He says, who knew pushing peanuts on the floor, that's what we have to do as the contestants, with your nose, could lead to such a great career. Wonderama was a great show. Please don't sing the theme song again, though. Great work. Michael. Guys, Michael says I can't sing the theme song. I can't sing. Okay, I'm not going to sing the theme song then. You hurt my little feelings, Michael. I'm only joking. Frankie Paz says, so basically, Dom, 3 members of Congress, referring to Newark, New Jersey, were involved in an insurrection. Am I wrong? Very, very interesting. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Let's go to Kathy. Kathy in Omaha, Nebraska, line 4. Kathy, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. What's on my mind is I have a question regarding Project 2025 in the sense that, as I recall, President Trump had said he was not involved in Project 2025. I saw some things yesterday more or less hinting that he is. Do you know if he is or isn't?
Well, it's a great question, Kathy. All I can tell you is that Democrats tried to hang Trump with Project 2025, to say that he's racist and so on, and that there had been no changes. The same way they tried to do with the abortion issue. And that's why I never understood. I know people deal on principle, but I never understood why Republicans and why supporters of Trump wanted to talk about abortion when all Trump could do was go downhill on that issue. So I will find out the exact answer for you, Kathy. I don't have it as of right now. More importantly, how are you doing?
I'm having some problems again, and so had to go back to the emergency room yesterday here in town.
I'm sorry
and
to hear that.
Supposedly things will get better now. It's supposed to storm badly tonight, so I hope that passes us by. But other than that, I am fine.
Hang in there, Kathy. You got some fans here in New York. I think I'm your number one fan. Time for a break. We're coming right back. And we are back. What's the best way I can say this? If you don't think that President Trump is the man, look at how he was treated yesterday in Saudi Arabia. I've been there before. I've been all over the Persian Gulf. And believe me, it may be nice, but you want to kiss American soil, which I did the moment you get back. President Trump, the way he left Saudi Arabia, just listen to how he left. And he took what he did during the campaign all the way to Saudi Arabia.
You have a tremendous future. And please pay my respects to your father. Thank you very much.
But I'm not feeling it today. And I'm going to be honest with you folks about something. I try my best not to be a whiner. I really do. But when you are a first-generation success story in your family and there are no other males to help you, boy, is it tough. It is tough. So I had a situation this afternoon, before we get back to your calls, where I could notify management that they had to get an 11th hour replacement for today and tonight, or I could be professional and come on in and do the show. So I have a lot of newfound respect for people like Catherine Trump. She takes care of her 96-year-old mother, along with her brother who helps her out. And I can understand that. So I'm driving into work, preparing for today's show, when I get a phone call from my niece and my aunt Inez that helped raise me with my grandmother. She's now almost 80 years old. And she explained to me that she was going into the hospital for a routine test that involved using a robot for a minor surgical procedure. That's what she explained to me. I get a phone call, and next thing I know, I'm on the phone with a surgeon from Montefiore Hospital, which is where I'm headed to the intensive care unit the moment that we get off the air at 4 o'clock. And remember, I've got to find a way to get home, get a nap, and then get back for the midnight show. But I'm headed to intensive care because this procedure that was supposed to be minor, come to find out when you're dealing with senior citizens, sometimes they don't completely understand, and it wasn't minor. Something went wrong, and it was they had to do emergency surgery, her pancreas, my aunt's pancreas, and I just found out that she's been unconscious for the last 24 hours on a ventilator. And this is what's been on my mind, and so you have two choices. Do you be professional and do the show? Or do you call out? And I believe that you try to be professional at all costs. And so this surgeon is explaining to me, literally, folks, just minutes ago, with the moment that I sign off, I'm headed up to ICU at Montefiore to seek out the lead administrator for them to tell me what went wrong. So this surgeon tells me nothing went wrong, but the CAT scan didn't pick up everything was supposed. I thought that's what CAT scans do. And so they had to do an emergency procedure, full surgery as it relates to her pancreas. And it didn't turn out well. They had to put her on a ventilator. She wasn't breathing. And she's been on the ventilator for the last 24 hours. And he says he believes that she's okay. She's just waking up, the moment, and that they feared that she might have had a stroke. So that's why she was put in ICU. I'm telling you, folks, I really believe this. It's not enough to be the first one in your family to succeed. You've got to have a network around you that can help you. Because sometimes when it rains, it pours. And I'm not one to bury my head in the sand. You know, every challenge, I'm like, bring it on. But this one is tough. So that's my afternoon. But that's enough of that. Let's go back to your telephone calls. I was about to let you hear this phony Jake Tapper. You know, maybe I should do that, right? Argue one way for years on air. Okay, so if I had said, let me tell the equivalent of what Jake Tapper did. If I said Trump was going to win the election, and then he lost the election, and then I turn around and say, I told you that Trump was going to lose the election. Revisionist history. This clown has the nerve to sit up there like he's an expert on Biden's mental decline. Let's continue with your telephone calls. Let's go to George, Rockland County, line 4. George, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I really hope that God is watching after you and Dominic.
Well, thank you. I hope so, too. I hope so, too.
Okay, so regarding Sean Diddy Coleman, I hope I pronounce the name right. Okay, I don't understand this woman who claims that she is his girlfriend. According to what is being told, he was beating her, dragging her, making her do sex with a prostitute, and on and on and on, basically disrespecting her. How in the world somebody would stay with him?
Well, that's a great question, George, and you have to ask her. The only thing that I can say is that it is tough. It is tough when you're dealing with someone. You got to understand, whether we like Diddy or hate Diddy, and folks, please understand what I'm saying. He's not a normal person, meaning the money at his level, the celebrities, what comes with his lifestyle. She wanted to be a star. He's got deviant sexual behaviors. You would think that someone would immediately leave. But, George, what are you going to do? Go back to the hood and starve the rest of your life? Or possibly be a millionaire? Which choice are you going to take?
Well, I think a person should have some kind of a self-respect. I mean,
okay, George, I hear you. George, I hear you. But that's not the options. The options I said to you, what are you going to do? You're going to go back to the hood and be broke for the rest of your life and nobody, or are you going to chance it and be a multimillionaire by staying with this monster? Which one are you? Those are the only two options. So which one are you going to do, George?
I would believe in self-respect. And
okay, so you're not answering my question. Those are not the options. So you're saying self-respect. So you would go back to the hood and be broke for the rest of your life. That's what you're telling me? You can't have it both ways. These are choices that that all of us have to make in life. Oh, now he hung up because he can't handle the heat. Can't handle the heat. He hung up on me. Folks, listen, you can denounce her for her choices all you want. And you may be right, but you got to put yourself in her shoes. She started with nothing, and she could go to the top, or she can go back to the hood with everybody else and be nobody. Those were her two choices. I'm not stating that she made the right choice. I'm just saying let's be real with the options that were before this young lady. I mean, forced to have sex with men for days that she doesn't even know, unprotected. And you know she's probably not telling the full story about just the urinary tract infections. You know it involves sexually transmitted diseases. She's probably uncomfortable discussing that. It's a horrible, horrible situation. And I met Diddy a couple of times. And if it was my daughter, she wouldn't have to deal with this because Daddy would deal with it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And whatever would happen to Daddy would happen to Daddy. But it would be dealt with. And I promise you it wouldn't be dealt with in a court of law. But it would be dealt with. Let's go to line 5. Line 5. Bruce, New Hampshire. What's on your mind, Bruce? Line 5.
Hello, Dominic.
Hi, Bruce. What's on your mind?
Oh, well, I was just going to say, if New York City's got any brains in their dang head, to vote for the man in the red velvet beret.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. It defies logic for the residents that are going to vote. So then what do you do about that, Bruce? You could stand here pie in the sky all night long. It's not going to happen. What happens then? What's the next step?
MTCSA.
Excuse me?
MTCSA. Make the city safe again.
Okay, Bruce, I don't know. Bruce, you got to deal. Are we in a world of reality right now?
No, not really.
Okay, I got it. Thank you for the telephone call. Line 1, Norman in Brooklyn. What's on your mind, Norman?
Yeah, first of all, Don, I'm sorry to hear about your aunt, man. I wish her nothing but the best. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Hey, thank you, Norman. You know, maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it because as soon as I mention it, I had to let it out. But then I get angry because to me, it's a sign of weakness and that I just need to do what I have to do and get in the next 15 minutes, rush up to Montefiore, go demand to see the lead administrator. So I'm saying it now on the radio, Montefiore, I am coming to see the lead administrator because somebody's going to explain to me how a routine procedure has gone this bad and a woman is now on a ventilator and you were fearful that she was going to go into a coma. But anyway, Norman, what's on your mind?
All right. Well, you know, I was listening to Hakeem Jeffries. Yeah, my congressman is Hakeem Jeffries here in Canarsie, which I feel like it's a community that he's virtually ignoring. And all I was thinking of is, would it be okay with Hakeem Jeffries if I went to, say, his congressional offices in Washington with a bunch of protesters or to his local offices, wherever the hell they are, somewhere in Canarsie or in Flatbush? And I think not. I think he would have a major problem with that.
Right, but
Norman,
you're not an elected official. See, that's how they get away with it. That's how they would say in a heartbeat, you're not a public official. That's the big difference.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not fair. Do unto thee, but not me. So that's not. That's not fair, and they had a little riot, and all they had to do was apply for, I'm talking about, what happened in New Jersey. All they had to do was apply for some sort of to say they were coming, to have an appointment, and
Correct.
They didn't do that. And
Correct.
That's terrible.
Correct. When the truth is they should all be arrested. But let's be honest, the racial politics come into play. It wouldn't be a good look for the Trump administration to arrest the mayor of Newark, as has been done, and 3 or 4 members of color that are Congress members. That's what's at play here. Norman, thank you for the wonderful call. Always great to chat with you. Let's go to line 4. Larry, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Larry?
Dominic, I just want to let you know and not be concerned. My dad went through the same thing with the pancreas. He spent 30 days in intensive care, and I spent every day there with him. And he came through it through the help of God. So just have the faith, and I'm sure she'll be fine.
Well, I try, Larry, to operate on faith, and I do. But to be straight with you, I don't want this to sound arrogant. I believe in the power of me, myself, and I. That's all I've had all my life, for the most part. And so the part that bothers me is that, again, when you're first generational success story, nobody understands the pressures that are on you. No one understands that your own family can become the biggest obstacle around your neck. And I can't be any clearer than that, because you soar through the sky in terms of your career and your life, and your family is standing there, your dysfunctional family, and they want you to cure all the ills of the world for them. And when you show them the way, well, listen, you want a house? I can't do it for you. Let me show you how to clean up your credit so we can get you a house. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I just want you to pay for the entire thing. It's dysfunction on top of dysfunction on top of dysfunction. I will be right back.
It's time for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Final Thoughts.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day belong to you because I want to get right back to all of your calls. Obviously, I can't get all of these calls on the air in less than 10 minutes. I will be back midnight to 3 a.m. You can take that to the bank. I will be back Eastern Standard Time. Let's go here to Joe, line 4, Staten Island. Joe, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. How are you?
I'm good. Please go ahead. Joe, we're wasting time. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I heard somewhere that Carmelo Anthony kid that said the other kid the school was gonna have him march in his graduation.
Well, Joe, you said you heard somewhere. So I don't want to comment on that because when you say you heard somewhere, that means it's not confirmed. And I don't have the information in front of me as of right now. I will have it by midnight. Do you know where you saw this information at?
I heard it on the station. I believe it was during the Greg Kelly show.
Okay, so I'm being told that that's true. I don't care where you heard it until I confirm it. To be honest with you, I don't buy it. But hopefully it's not true because if it is true, it's utterly disgusting that they would allow this. I'm not going to call him a name right now. It sends all the wrong messages. Hey, stab somebody in the chest. You can go to graduation. You too, and Oprah's going to give you a car. If it's accurate, I don't know if it is, Joe. And again, I emphasize, I don't care who said it. Until I have it confirmed, I'm not going to confirm it. But thank you for the call. Line 1, Tom in New Jersey. Tom, what's on your mind? Tom, are you there? One more try. Okay, Tom is not there. Let's go to Al in New Jersey. Al, what's on your mind?
Right to the point. Delaney Hall is a hotel of pleasure. It is like living in a luxury place. I was in the county jail about 12 years ago, and all they were talking about was Delaney Hall. And I was kind of confused. I'm saying, what the heck is Delaney Hall? So I finally got sent there because I wasn't a violent criminal. I had a DUI, and I particularly had a knife in my pickup truck. They arrested me for that. So I go to Delaney Hall, and I'm sitting there going, now I understand. It was a luxury place. I mean, the rooms there's no.
Okay, Tom, Al, you have to pardon me. What exactly is Delaney Hall? I'm just not up on it right now. What is Delaney Hall? What are you referring to? Is that
Delaney Hall was originally created for nonviolent criminals.
Okay, but why are you bringing up Delaney Hall? That's what I'm asking you.
Because these people are coming there complaining about the illegals that are in there.
Is that the Newark facility? I'm not following your point of reference.
That's the Newark facility.
That's all you had to say to begin with, Al. Okay, so you were held in Delaney Hall.
Yes, they took me out of general population.
Okay, I don't need to hear all the personal details. You were held in Delaney Hall, so you're saying stop complaining. Okay, got it. Thank you. Let's go to Andrew, line 5, Long Island. What's on your mind, Andrew?
Yeah, I was listening to you and that lady Gail about P. Diddy, and a lot of people don't understand that this girl was 19, 20 years old when she met Diddy, and you give thousands and thousands of dollars to a 20-year-old, they're going to do stupid stuff.
Andrew, let me just tell you what experience has taught me. Most people sit in the comfort of their living rooms and don't know what they're talking about, judging others. It is very easy to say, oh, she should have stood on principle, and how dare she sell herself out? Until you're in that situation, don't judge someone until you're exactly in that situation. I'm not saying she was right. I'm not saying she was wrong. What happened to her was horrible. P. Diddy, the guy I knew, is an absolute monster. I never really trusted him to begin with. The few personal encounters that I had with him, I can tell you, I really shouldn't say this, but there's a reason why Sharpton didn't like him. One of the private conversations I had with Sharpton years ago, I would ask Sharpton, how's Diddy? And I hope I don't get in trouble personally for saying this because it is a deep private conversation. And he would say to me, he's all right. And then I would say, what do you mean, Rev? And then he would say, I can't say that. And he would just go, he's all right. and he would leave it at that. And I never understood what he was talking about. But now I get it a bit further. Folks, all it takes is $11 a month. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org.